Welcome again. Before we begin, I want you to pause everything. Just for a moment. Take a breath. Forget the noise. Now listen to this. Your time is not just a number. It's not just a clock ticking. It's your life. Moving. Every hour is a door. You either walk through it or you watch it close. Most people don't lose their dreams because they're not smart enough or lucky enough. They lose them because they never learned how to use their time. They live on repeat. Wake up, scroll, rush, regret, sleep. And slowly, their fire begins to fade. But here's something powerful. You don't need more time. You already have what every winner, every millionaire, every champion has. 24 hours. That's all they had. That's all they needed. The only difference is what they did with it. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for the right mood. They built routines. They mastered focus. They treated their time like gold. Because it was. And now it's your turn. This video is not just about time management. It's about living with purpose. It's about using every minute to build the life you deserve. No more wasting hours. No more "I'll start tomorrow." From this moment forward, you take the power back. So sit with me, my friend. Let's walk through your day and build it like a winner. Let's change your 24 hours so you can change your life. Are you ready? Point 1. Wake up before the world opens its eyes. The first part of your day holds more power than most people realize. Morning hours are not just hours. They are the beginning of everything. They decide how the rest of your 24 hours will move. While many wake up with no plan, rushing through the morning or losing time in endless scrolling, the smart ones treat these early hours like gold. Because in the quiet of the morning, before the world speaks, you have space. Space to think. Space to focus. Space to move your life forward before the noise begins. Your brain is sharpest in the first few hours after waking. That is when energy is high and the mind is fresh. What you do with this energy will decide if your day feels powerful or wasted. The mistake many people make is waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for their mood to improve. But winners don't wait. They use the first hours of the day for their most important tasks. Planning, reading, writing, learning, working out. Not because they are superheroes, but because they understand something simple. Mornings build momentum. Momentum is powerful. When you begin your day with intention, everything that comes after feels smoother. You are no longer reacting. You are leading. Because they are. You can never get them back. The morning sets the tone. It shapes your mindset, your energy, your pace. Start strong and you move strong. The truth is simple. If you waste your morning, you'll spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. But if you use your morning well, the rest of the day starts to fall into place. So use it wisely. Protect it like a treasure. And remember, your morning is not just a beginning. It's a mirror of your future. Point 2. Set a clear intention for the day. After an early rise, when silence still covers the world, the day stands open, untouched, full of possibility. But possibility without direction is chaos in disguise. Without a clear plan, even the most promising day slips away. That's why, in this still moment, before the noise begins, a decision must be made. What truly matters today? This is the hour when focus must be born, not in long to-do lists or scattered thoughts, but in a single point of purpose. One goal, two at most. The kind of goals that move a life forward, that build something real, not just fill time. It might be the first page of a book, the deep work that's been avoided, a long walk for the body, or a hard conversation that can no longer wait. It doesn't have to be loud. It has to matter. When intention is set in the morning, everything changes. Distractions lose their power. The endless scroll, the unimportant tasks, the noise from the world. None of it stands a chance against someone who knows what their time is for. With intention, the day is not something to survive. It becomes something to shape. Those who drift through their hours often feel busy, but never fulfilled. Constant movement, no progress. Always reacting, never creating. But the ones who rise strong every morning do something different. They lead their time instead of chasing it. They give each hour a purpose. They make space only for what serves the goal. That kind of discipline creates freedom. The kind that doesn't come from empty schedules, but from meaningful action. Setting an intention isn't a small ritual. It's the foundation of everything that follows. It's the steering wheel of the entire day. Without it, the mind wanders, the hours blur, and the day is lost before it even begins. But with it, every step has weight. Every choice has reason. Every moment becomes a brick in something bigger. So before the world knocks, before the phone lights up, before noise takes over, there must be stillness. In that stillness, ask one quiet question. What is the most important thing today? The answer may be small, but it will be enough. Enough to shape a day. Enough to shape a life. Point 3. Don't waste time on small decisions. Every day begins with 1,000 tiny choices. What to wear? What to eat? Which message to answer first? These questions seem harmless, even simple. But together, they drain the mind. They take focus away from what actually matters. Time slips away, not through big mistakes, but through hundreds of small, silent decisions. The most successful people in the world protect their mental energy like treasure. They don't waste it on things that don't push them forward. They simplify the small parts of life so the big things can receive full attention. The clothes are prepared the night before. Meals are planned in advance. Daily routines are followed without question. This is not boring. This is powerful. It's the discipline of deciding once and never again. The mind only has so much energy each day. Every time a decision is made, a little piece of that energy is used. That's why the smartest minds build systems, habits that run on autopilot. The fewer choices needed for small matters, the more strength remains for creation, problem-solving, and deep thinking. In a world full of options, the ones who win are not the ones who try everything. They are the ones who know what matters and remove what doesn't. They eliminate noise. They reduce choice. They protect their clarity. Because clarity is not found in chaos. It is found in structure, in stillness, in knowing that energy should serve vision, not clutter. The greatest danger is not in one wrong decision, but in wasting the day on hundreds of unimportant ones. So the wise simplify. They automate. They streamline. Not to make life dull, but to keep it clean. To leave space for the battles that actually count. Focus isn't something that appears. It is built, step by step, through habits that remove friction. And one of the most powerful habits of all is learning not to give time, thought, or energy to the decisions that don't matter. Because when the small choices are already made, the big work begins with power, not delay. Point 4. Work with deep, laser focus. Distraction is the silent thief of greatness. In a single hour, it can steal more than a tired body or a long day ever could. The modern world offers more ways than ever to stay busy, but fewer ways to stay focused. Most people jump from task to task, constantly interrupted, endlessly switching, never sinking deep. And yet, the real work, the work that changes lives, is only done in silence, in depth, in full presence. Laser focus is not about doing more. It's about going deeper. It means choosing one task and locking everything else out. One browser tab, one notebook. 1 hour of undivided attention. No checking messages, no answering calls, no jumping between windows. In this space, the mind wakes up. Creativity flows. Problems begin to solve themselves. And time, strangely, begins to slow down. The most productive people in the world don't work for 12 chaotic hours. They work for 4 focused ones. They set boundaries around their deep work like guards at the gate. A phone in another room. Noise reduced. A clear desk. A timer counting down. These are not small actions. They are acts of power. Because protecting focus is not easy in this world. But it is necessary. Nothing great is built in shallow work. Real writing, real thinking, real problem solving. All require depth. Focus is the place where skill meets effort and effort meets results. It's where mastery lives, and every time that focus is broken, the mind must restart. 5 seconds of distraction can cost 20 minutes of depth. Deep work is a decision, a promise made to the goal, a refusal to let the world steal another hour. It is the difference between a life that feels full and a life that is truly fulfilled, between staying busy and building something that matters. Every day holds a few golden hours, and in those hours, deep work can turn an ordinary day into a legendary one. Not through speed, not through multitasking, but through full attention. One task, one goal, one quiet hour, and the discipline to let nothing else in. Point 5. Move the body to reset the day. The mind fades before the clock does. The body slows before the work ends. Even in a well-planned day, energy crashes, focus slips, and clarity vanishes. But there is one silent weapon that restarts it all. Movement. Not for fitness, not for strength, but to control time, to command the rhythm of the day. Every hour brings pressure. Sitting too long dulls the senses. Thinking too hard clutters the mind. That's where movement steps in. To reset, to recharge, to reclaim the flow. Just a few minutes. A slow walk, a stretch. a burst of motion between heavy tasks. It's not a workout. It's a reset switch. It pulls the mind out of its fog. It brings back alertness. It invites back control. Without movement, even the most focused mind begins to wander. Work turns into noise. Decisions take longer. Time escapes unnoticed. But when the body is moved with intention, the entire day sharpens. Motion becomes a tool, a way to fight fatigue, to slice through distraction, to wake the system up again. Think of the body as the rhythm keeper of the day. If it's still too long, the beat slows. But even a short burst of motion brings the tempo back. It reminds the brain that the day is still in progress, and the mission isn't done. The right movement at the right time can turn a wasted afternoon into a productive sprint. It can pull lost minutes back onto the track. It can restore the urgency that was slipping away. And it doesn't need to be complex. No gym, no plan, just presence. Just a few moments of walking instead of scrolling. A deep breath and a stretch instead of checking the clock again. Simple actions, quiet rituals, but with massive power. Because when the body is in motion, the brain listens. The focus tightens. The will returns. Movement is how time is claimed back. Not all at once, but piece by piece, breath by breath. And in those small reclaimed pockets, the day is won. Point 6. Protect energy from distractions. The enemy of a powerful day is not lack of time. It's the silent bleeding of energy. Hours are not stolen by major events. They are stolen by small, meaningless interruptions that come quietly and often. A random message, a useless notification, a sudden urge to scroll, a thought that pulls the mind away from the task. Each one takes only seconds, but the cost is focus. And once focus breaks, time follows. Energy is not unlimited. Every distraction, no matter how small, burns a piece of it. And when energy is gone, even the most carefully planned day falls apart. Important tasks begin to feel too heavy. Simple decisions become exhausting. The drive fades, replaced by a tired mind running in circles. That's how entire days disappear, not from laziness, but from being drained by things that don't matter. That's why protecting energy becomes a daily strategy, a way to win back time. The strongest days are not the busiest. They are the cleanest. No noise, no wasted motion, just attention, given only to what moves the mission forward. That means blocking out distractions before they arrive. Turning off notifications. Putting the phone far from reach. Choosing silence over noise. Creating small barriers that make distraction harder to reach. And when a distraction does appear, it is noticed, not obeyed. Because awareness is the first shield. Distractions thrive on mindlessness, but they weaken when met with intention. Every moment saved from distraction becomes a moment reclaimed for deep work, real thinking, or even quiet rest. This is not about control for the sake of perfection. It's about control for the sake of energy. Because energy is the real currency of a productive day. Time means nothing without it. And the ones who protect it, hour by hour, become the ones who always seem to do more. Not because they rush, but because they are undisturbed. Point 7. Say no more than saying yes. Time is stolen not only by distraction, but by agreement. By saying yes too often, to things that don't matter, to people who don't understand the mission. to plans that feel urgent but add no value. Every yes given without purpose is a silent trade. Time is handed over, energy is split, and focus is sacrificed. One yes may seem harmless, but yes after yes, day after day, leaves no room for the work that actually matters. The most successful people in the world are not the busiest. They are the most protective. Their calendars are not full. They are guarded. Their hours are not packed. They are chosen. Every yes is rare. Every yes must earn its place, because they know that every yes is also a no to something else. And sometimes, the cost is invisible, until it's too late. Saying no is not cold. It is not rude. It is an act of clarity. It is a statement. This day is not open to anything random. This time is not available for anything weak. This mind is not for rent to things that do not move it forward. And that kind of discipline builds freedom. It builds power. Because suddenly, the hours that once felt chaotic now feel strong, clean, focused. This is where a day is truly won. In the quiet moments of choice. When an invitation appears, when a request shows up, when a favor is asked. Those are not just small interactions, they are tests. And each time the answer is no, not out of fear, but out of purpose, the day becomes sharper, the schedule becomes cleaner, the hours become aligned with something real. Most people drown in their own kindness. They say yes to everything and forget what they were working toward. But the strongest minds say no, not because they are cruel, but because they are clear. Clear about the mission. Clear about their limits. Clear about what truly deserves space in a 24-hour window that will never return again. Saying no more than yes is not about being unavailable. It's about being unshakable. It's the habit that protects the day from slipping through too many open doors. Point 8. Use your evenings to reflect and reset. The final hours of the day are often wasted, spent in distraction, noise, or quiet regret. But what many ignore is this: the evening is not the end of the day. It is the beginning of tomorrow. Those last moments before sleep are not for escaping reality, but for facing it. With honesty, without judgment. The way the evening is used can either close the day with strength or carry its chaos into the next. Reflection is not about guilt. It is not about overthinking. It is about awareness. It's asking the simple, powerful question: was today spent with purpose? And even if the answer is no, that answer holds the seed of change. Because awareness is how improvement begins. The small act of sitting in silence, thinking back through the day, the choices made, the time wasted, the wins earned, creates a map. And those who reflect begin to see their own patterns. Where they lost focus, where they grew, where they gave too much, and where they can take back control. Evenings are also for resetting, for clearing what doesn't need to be carried forward. The mind is not built to hold everything. Mistakes, failures, stress, all night long. That weight becomes poison in the next morning. Resetting means letting go. It means writing down, planning the next steps, forgiving the missteps. It's not about perfection. It's about preparation. While most people sleep with their minds racing, those who win the day sleep with peace, because they have closed it with purpose. They have reflected with clarity. They have set themselves up for what's next. They don't guess their way through the morning. They build it the night before. No one talks about the evening, but it is one of the most powerful tools for success. Not in how loud it is, but in how honest it can be. It is a mirror. It shows what the rest of the day tried to hide. And it gives a second chance before sleep steals the consciousness away, to choose what tomorrow will look like. The day does not end when the clock says so. It ends when the mind says, "I've learned enough for now. I'll do better tomorrow." That is how reflection becomes a habit. And that is how great lives are built. Not just through morning routines, but through nightly rituals of reset. Point 9. Treat every hour like it matters. Most people treat time like it's infinite. They waste hours like they'll never run out. But the truth is, every hour is a door that only opens once. Once it closes, it never returns. That's why the difference between a normal life and an extraordinary one often comes down to this simple mindset. Treat every hour like it matters, because it does. 1 hour is enough to change something, to fix something, to start something, to finish something. But only if it's taken seriously. People think big dreams require big time, but they forget that big things are built 1 hour at a time. 1 focused hour a day becomes 30 hours a month, 365 hours a year. That's more than 15 full days of undistracted deep effort. Imagine what could be created in that time. If it wasn't wasted scrolling, waiting, hesitating. Every hour has weight. Some carry energy, some carry answers, some carry rest. But when hours are treated like throwaway minutes, they lose their magic. And soon the day feels too short, life feels too busy, and goals feel impossible. But it's not the world that's unfair. It's the schedule that's not respected. Every hour left unmanaged becomes a window for distraction to crawl through. To treat every hour like it matters is not about obsession. It's about intention. It's choosing what this hour is for. Is it for building? Is it for recovering? Is it for learning? Whatever it is, make it only about that. Give it the respect of your full attention. That is how progress feels real, not rushed, not vague, but powerful, measurable. Time doesn't slow down for anyone, but it does respond to clarity. It opens more when it is treated with care, and those who win the day are not those who work more, but those who treat each hour like it holds value. Not just the mornings, not just the meetings. Every moment, from the quiet hour of sunrise to the last hour before sleep, is a chance to move life forward. Treat time like gold, and it will return like treasure. Treat it like dust, and it will disappear. Point 10. Sleep with a plan for tomorrow. Some people sleep to escape. Others sleep to recharge. But the most successful people, they sleep with a plan. They don't just end the day. They prepare for the next one. Before their head touches the pillow, their mind already knows what tomorrow looks like. And that changes everything. Because sleep isn't just rest. It's recovery for the mission ahead. It's not about running from the world. It's about returning to it stronger. When the brain knows there is a purpose waiting the next morning, the body rests deeper. The night becomes a pause, not an ending. And the difference is powerful. Think about it. Most people go to bed without clarity. They don't know what time they'll wake up. They don't know what task to start with. They don't know what goal truly matters tomorrow. So they wake up lost. They reach for their phone. They scroll. They delay. And by the time they figure out what the day should be, it's already gone. But those who sleep with a plan, they wake up ready. They don't waste their energy on guessing. Their clothes are set. Their list is written. Their focus is locked. That kind of preparation creates momentum. And momentum is how winning days begin. The plan doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to exist. 5 minutes before bed. That's all it takes. Write down the 3 most important things to do. Set a clear time to wake up. Visualize the kind of day you want to live. That small routine can create massive results over time. Because a clear tomorrow starts the night before. This is the secret that turns tired minds into powerful machines. It removes doubt. It reduces stress. It sharpens purpose. And in a world full of noise, that kind of clarity is rare. So don't close your eyes in chaos. Don't fall asleep with questions spinning in your head. Clear them. Write them. Plan them. And then rest, not in fear, but in control. Because the next morning is not a mystery anymore. It's already waiting, and it's already yours. The most successful people do not just work hard. They prepare smart. Every night, every time. They sleep like soldiers before battle. Calm, focused, and ready. Because tomorrow is not just another day. It is another step in the story they are building. And you can start that story tonight by simply deciding, I will not just sleep. I will sleep with a plan. This is not just about time. It's about who you become with it. Every hour, every choice, every small decision. They are shaping your future. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. Because success is not something that suddenly appears. It is something built, step by step, day by day, hour by hour. The world doesn't give more time, but it gives everyone the same 24 hours. What makes the difference is how those hours are used, not with pressure, not with panic, but with purpose. Real purpose. So start small. Win your mornings. Protect your focus. Respect your energy. And end each day with a plan for the next. That's how days are won. And that's how life changes. Quietly, consistently, beautifully. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. And intentional. Because the truth is simple. You don't need more time. You need to use it better. Let this be the moment, the beginning, the day where your 24 hours finally become yours. Don't just scroll to the next video. Not this time. Because if this message reached you, it's for a reason. You've got 24 hours today, and tomorrow, and the day after that. But nothing changes, unless you do something about it. So pause, breathe, decide, subscribe. Not for me, but for you. For the version of yourself that refuses to waste another day. Like this video if you're done living on autopilot. And drop a comment if you're ready to win. Hour by hour, step by step, day by day. This isn't just motivation. This is your reminder. You still have time, but not forever. Use it right, and let's build the life you were born to live.